crashed forcefully into 10,000 tons of steel and concrete. This is the exact moment a 900-foot out-of-control shipping vessel collided with the Francis Scott Bridge in Baltimore, Maryland, collapsing it entirely in 18 seconds. In this video, we will go through the precise timeline of events in real time of everything that happened in the minutes leading up to the worst disaster of its kind in 40 years. At 1:24 a.m., Tuesday, March 26th, a 900-foot shipping vessel from Singapore by the name of Dolly was en route to cross Francis Scott Key Bridge to deliver a shipment from the port of Baltimore to Panama. 1 minute later, this routine voyage would take a dark turn, literally, as precisely 60 seconds later, Dolly will lose all power, plunging the vessel and all of its 22 crew members into complete darkness, and its captain into a real-life nightmare that's about to change the lives of everyone involved forever. The crew not only lost power, but they also lost the engine, all electronics, and most terrifyingly, the ship's ability to steer. When you lose power on a ship, it's the worst feeling in the world. Everything goes eerily quiet. Everything fades into black. At this precise moment, the captain begins to initiate emergency procedures. He issues a mayday call as his shipping vessel coasts out of control. It's an extremely rare event for a ship of this size to completely lose power. It's even more extraordinarily unlucky for this to happen just before crossing under a bridge. One of the key emergency and safety features on the ship is a backup power generator. Realizing the immense danger of the situation, the captain and his crew spring into action, rushing to get the backup generator going. It works. The backup power generator starts, and the lights suddenly come back on. The captain and the crew breathe a sigh of relief. Disaster averted, or so they thought. At this moment, we begin to see plumes of black smoke billowing from atop the vessel. Sources have differed on where this smoke is coming from exactly. Some indicate it's the backup power generator. Others said it's a sign of an engine problem. At this moment, the captain attempts to stop the vessel by backing down. The problem with backing a ship is that it's only driven by a single propeller. This creates a natural imbalance, and it causes the ship to start careening, veering off in one direction. Even though the ship was coming right down the middle of the channel, a second episode of sudden loss of power. After the captain had already engaged the reversing propeller, means the ship is now deadlocked. It is now careening uncontrollably towards the right side, steering the ship right into the bridge's column. Realizing what's happening, the captain drops the port side anchor, which is at the left side of the ship, in a final Hail Mary attempt to correct course and end this nightmare. Sadly, the captain's desperate attempts to save the situation in a cruel twist of fate were to no avail, as the ship headed straight towards unmitigated disaster. As this is happening, we can clearly see vehicles still driving over the bridge. During this time, the Transportation Authority and the police are scrambling to stop traffic over the bridge, just in case. We were able to obtain their communications over dispatch as they frantically attempt to save drivers' lives from certain death. Take a listen.
I need one of you guys on the south side, one of you guys on the north side, hold all traffic on the Key Bridge. There's a ship approaching, it just lost their steering. So until you get that under control, we gotta stop all traffic.
Yeah, we're all on the route to the south side.
Special start.
I'm holding traffic now. I was driving when we stopped prior to the bridge.
In what can only be described as a miracle, police managed to stop the last car from going over the bridge, mere seconds before its collapse.
10-4, is there our crew work on the bridge right now?
291 to do when we stop traffic on this light right now.
Yeah, if we can stop traffic, just make sure no one's on the bridge right now. I'm not sure where, there's a crew up there. You might want to notify whoever the foreman is, see if we can get them off the bridge temporarily.
10-4, once the other unit gets here, I'll ride up on the bridge. I have all interloop traffic stopped at this time. Once you get here, I'll go grab the workers on the key bridge and then stop the outer loop.
At this moment, we can hear the Transportation Authority mention a crew of men working on the bridge, as at the time, there was a crew of 8 men on the bridge fixing potholes late at night, as that's usually when there's the least amount of traffic. A police officer mentions that he's about to drive over the bridge to go get the crew of men. He's just waiting for his backup to arrive, to take over his post, stopping traffic. Unfortunately for the men, it was too late.
C-13 dispatch, the whole bridge just fell down. Start is whoever, everybody. The whole bridge just collapsed.
Simple dispatch is direct.
That's correct. This time.
Do we know if all traffic was stopped?
I can't get to the other side, so the bridge is down.
Search and rescue operations began immediately to locate the 8 men. But with so much twisted metal and debris, the search inside the pitch black, ice-cold waters was made that much more difficult. Working tirelessly throughout the night, responders managed to miraculously find and rescue 2 out of the 8 men in the early morning hours. The other 6, still missing. Men that came from El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Mexico, looking for a better life. Given the extremely low temperature of the waters below and the sheer height of the fall, authorities presume the worst. This disaster incident is unique in its horror, as it left an image that I, no matter how hard I tried, could not erase from my memory. The haunting image that found its way imprinted deep into my memory is this: a disaster that left in its wake a road that leads to nowhere except the cold, dark, abyssal depths below.